WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs. Original shows. Music news. The hottest DJs from around the world.
He's streaming. And the rockets. Red glare. I fucked it up. Can I go back, please? Bombs bursting. And then I got too nervous. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
So that, friends, was a snippet from Singer Loomis, who just gave us a masterclass in how not to perform the national anthem.
Oh my gosh.
During a live performance for the free and equal elections debate, she hit all the wrong notes and then dropped the F-bomb on air, saying, I fucked it up. Like, girl, if ever a time not to do this to black people, like, if you could not have picked a wronger time to be hard R, you couldn't have. But with that being said, that scary ass performance, we're welcoming you to Spooky Week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Happy Halloween, homeboys.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Halloween. What is it? Halloween? What do they call it? Hallows Eve? Yeah, all that.
Well, I don't celebrate Halloween. Coming up, I went to Hallelujah night. So, those who know.
All right.
But happy candy night. Yeah, because that's all that I want anyway. Let me get the candy. Not that nasty shit that some of y'all be handing out either.
Trick or treat, ghouls and gals, hoes and homeboys, watermelons and orange ass pumpkins, all of y'all. Thanks for joining us again, and sorry we unannounced a week off. You know,
I had the flu, so it is what it is.
Hoodies. What's your mood this week? How you feeling?
My mood is refreshed. I did get some rest last week. Thank goodness. And I'm back like I never left.
That's right. Germ season is upon us, lyric. Germs. It's got it's that plus this election. It's all got my anxiety going crazy. Like I don't know how to respond. You know, you got all this pressure from the election. It's like nonsense, back and forth. Every time you turn on the TV, it's some new fuck shit white people done cooked up to do to offend a different group or demographic of people. I don't know how to handle it. Like, I talked with my therapist about it earlier in the week, and it's just something I'm working through. So it's got my emotions all over the place. I don't know how to process it.
Something that I have been doing more so, staying the fuck off my phone. Sometimes you have to
disconnect,
step away from it.
Yep.
And take a step back and, do what you need to do in your normal life without always being on your phone, reading stuff and watching the news, and because you'll become consumed by that. And it gets too much. It really does. Like, there's always going to be somebody who's saying something racist. Somebody's always going to get out of pocket and do some fuckery. You can't get away from it. So sometimes you have to just step back from it for a little while. And that's one of the things that my therapist recommended.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was recommended. Just step away. So I've been peeking in. I'll say what I got to say, and then I step back out, because if I don't, it will drive you crazy, because it is always something else, and it's always something different. It's very hard to dissect. Not to mention the fact, like I said, germ season, and y'all nasty off the break. Listen, COVID taught us that y'all don't wash, and that y'all nasty. So at this point, everything, it's like, it's that weird time of season where you can't tell if it's a sniffle or if it's something that's going to like take you out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't like to
First of
wash
all,
your hands. Y'all like to go in the bathroom, and instead of using soap and water, y'all think that you want to use hand sanitizer in replacement for soap and water when soap and water is available. Like, you realize that hand sanitizer is for if the other options are not already there.
right. It's ridiculous the amount of people who still be coughing without covering their mouth in public.
Open mouth.
Open mouth. No hand in sight. Just and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
I be offended about that type of shit because you don't give a shit about yourself or anybody else. That's clear. Because you just saying, fuck you, take my germs, take my sickness. I can have this, that, and the third. That's probably where the fuck I got the flu from.
Sure. Pestilence.
Nobody covers their mouth. It's nasty. Y'all got to do better with that shit.
I agree. So let's kick this show on off with When I Grow Up. So when I grow up, I want to be like David Belugan. Okay? He is a 19-year-old wonder kid from Harrisburg who's out here breaking barriers and taking names. This little genius has a high school diploma in hand, like right now, and is already setting his sights on college to chase his passion for astrophysics. Meanwhile, I was still trying to figure out how, like, not to eat crayons and tie my shoes and shit at 9. This young man is everything that I wasn't. But you know what? Academic achievement, like, you know, it excites me because I was.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
I wasn't James smart, but I was smart.
And congratulations to his parents, man.
Or, I'm sorry, David. Yeah, that's true too.
Because you raised a great young kid who's going to do great, amazing things in this world. Unlike some of you motherfuckers got y'all kids out here robbing Dick, Tom, and Harry for for to change out their goddamn pocket.
And be giving them biblical names. Like, you getting robbed by somebody named Moses. Stop this.
Ciao. Don't get me started. Okay. When I grow up, I want to be like Sydney Barber, who made history as the first Black woman brigade commander at the U.S. Naval Academy, stepping into a role that oversees around 4,000 students. Her journey reflects her commitment to service, leadership, and diversity, inspired by her father and the legacy of past Black female graduates. Sydney's dedication to her community and the military showcases her passion for making a meaningful impact. Word. I know that's right. First. If you're not first, you're last. Okay, period. Yeah.
Man, so much to celebrate at this. The undertone is so much at stake right now. But we're going to get into that on Real Talk later. I guess we had decided that we were going to talk, just thoughts and stuff to take with you into the voting booths this year, or into the voting polls, rather. Because it's a lot of misinformation out here, and we'll get more into that as we go. But for right now, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, if it were lyric.
So Trump held a Klan rally in the middle of New York where he had people talking shit about Puerto Ricans, about Jewish people, about Black folks. You know what I'm saying? They even made statements like America is for Americans. Like, not only is Trump married to an immigrant, they had goddamn Elon Musk, the South African settler up in there. You feel me? You really disrespected Puerto Ricans in the middle of New York? Like, that's crazy to me. Then they had the dude that was a comedian that wasn't funny, that tried to be a comedian. He made a joke about carving watermelons with a Black person, you feel me? And then I seen this dope video by Mr. Cream, and he reminded me of the history of how watermelons was demonized by white folks because Black people were able to get some of the economic progression. We was real hustlers, and they ain't like that. So they tried to really discourage us, you know what I'm saying? That right there was like, in 2024, he had a Klan rally in the middle of goddamn. And then he had Dr. Phil up there talking about America is not built on DEI, it's built on hard working. Like the fact that you don't believe that DEI is centered around hard work is crazy. But also it's like, hey man, this country was built by mediocre, lazy white men that know how to master colonialism and enslavement, that was literally able to use somebody else's hard work. You see what I'm saying? And DEI, the reason why it's criticism like legitimacy is because the same descendants of the people that had their hard work the country was built on, we got denied access into particular spaces and places. You know what I'm saying? But back to this Klan rally though, because it's like
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were Lyric.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Lyric, and I'm back with my segment entitled If It Were Lyric, where I give my advice on your situationships, relationships, and friendships, and all of that good stuff. If you guys want to continue sending me your advice questions, please send them to my Gmail at lyricbravado@gmail.com and on my social media platforms of TikTok until they cancel that.
You know what? I don't know if that's a rumor or I got to look into the logistics of that because I don't think that's what people are saying it is.
I don't know, child, but just in case, send it to my Facebook or my Instagram DM.
Zuckerberg seems pretty stable. He's the only one out of y'all hoes that seem like you got his shit together. I don't know what the rest of you girls are doing. Jesus.
All right.
This one says, "Hi, Lyric." Oh, no. All right. Let's just say my name is Gary for these obvious reasons. In late 2021, I had a rather large Euro Millions lottery win. Wow. Wait, let me get this email address. Might need to ask for a loan. Okay. I used some of the money to buy things like my house and current car outright. Gave money to my family and friends and have the rest invested, giving me a significant yearly return, meaning I'll never need to work again.
I know that's right.
Work. Mid-2022, I met Emma, fake name. I would hope so. She sounds white. Anyways, while I was... Sorry. All right. While I was dating around at this time, I obviously didn't want to disclose my win. And when asked why I didn't work, I would give a big reason of that. I was a computer programmer, which was true, who developed a tool used in online banking, which had been licensed. As this tended to be boring enough to not get any follow-up questions, Emma accepted this answer at the time and never really followed up. Emma has her own management job, earning around $70K, and has never asked me for money. I only mention this to avoid any "she's using you" responses. Wow, okay. She's the love of my life, and in the last couple of months, the topic of marriage has come up. Emma has already said that she's willing to sign some sort of a prenuptial agreement. I'm currently in conversations with my lawyer about what this would involve, not looking for legal advice. Okay. She's obviously aware that I have money, but have no idea of how to broach the subject of how much and that it came from a lottery win. I obviously don't want to start a marriage based on a lie. And while our current finances are largely separate after marriage, I don't think I would be able to hide my financial worth. Any advice on how to tell her and to rebuild trust would be appreciated. Signed, Gary.
Well, congratulations, Gary, on your win. That's crazy.
If she don't want you, I do.
Bless. You're blessed. I say just tell her, because it sounds like she has a good head on her shoulders, and for her to be willing to sign a prenuptial agreement of any sort means that she's trying to protect her own interests too. Mm-hmm. You said she making $70K. That's not like any loose, like, short money either. Like, a lot of people are not even earning that these days. So it sounds like she's trying to protect her interests, and she don't mind protecting yours too in the process. That's
right.
just
70K, yeah. Depending on where you live at in the country is that's stacked.
Mm-hmm. So she owns her own business. She's never asking you for any of it. And honestly, I don't even think that I wouldn't even call that a lie, because who in their right mind is, when they first starts dating somebody, goes into their finances and tells them, oh, I make this, I got this, that, and the third, unless you're that type of person. No, first of all, it's none of your business unless I see that, we are actually going to get married, and those conversations need to take place anyway, especially if you're going into a marriage. But if you're dating, that's not nobody's business on if you won $5 million. And it's good that you didn't tell her, because now you can see for yourself what type of person she is. And she's already proven herself. Like, she hasn't used you. She's not going to use you. She's very comfortable with her own earnings, and she's going to sign a prenup. So I would just say, have a conversation with her. That's all you need to do. It doesn't have to be this thing where you make yourself overly anxious about it. Just tell her, have a conversation with her over dinner.
Yeah, and it seems like from what you wrote, I mean, you putting in here like things like, I'm trying to avoid using you responses, and talking about I'm not looking for legal advice and all of these things. Sir, you looking for a tell-all? You looking for a crystal ball? We don't have that. Neither do you. Nobody has a crystal ball.
And it don't sound like she's going to go off and go crazy. From you saying you want to figure out how to rebuild trust. It doesn't sound like she's that type of person to go fly off the handle with you telling her something like that.
Shoot, those are kind
now
of
that things are getting more serious. There's going to be different types of conversations that you're going to have as a couple. So just have a conversation.
How come I can't never get no surprises like that from niggas? The only surprises I get from niggas, I'm cheating on you, or I find some bullshit going on. That's the kind of shit I get. Y'all out here dating lottery niggas and don't even know.
You stupid.
Word. Where you live at? Where these niggas?
Word.
Oh, me.
I have one more. All right, let's see. This one wants to remain anonymous.
I love that.
It says, Dear Lyric, my bum of a younger brother, he's 26.
Wow.
Just announced that he is dating a newly 18-year-old girl.
Okay.
I went to her and scared her off by being honest about who my brother is. My family is disgusted that I'm trying to keep him from being happy. How do I explain this was in the best interest for everyone? For context, my brother is a leech. He is the baby of the family, and nobody ever does or says anything that might set him off. Every single amazing opportunity that has come his way, he has shit on by being lazy, sleeping in, playing video games. He still lives at home with our parents, and he only hits me or the family up when he needs money. This is the basic gist of who he is. The girl is someone that we've known since childhood, a family friend. She is in her first year of university, and somehow she and my brother have gotten together. I have no idea when they first started talking, but I do know that she is way too young and naive to be dating someone like my bro. I've seen him single-handedly destroy other women's lives by infecting them with his lifestyle. It's no coincidence that women he has dated have all either quit their jobs or dropped out of school since they started dating him. She is a smart and driven young girl with a passion for journalism. She does not need the influence of my brother in any capacity. I literally just drove to her parents' house and told her who my brother is, why she shouldn't want to date him, what will happen if she dates him, and I finished by telling her that she can do whatever she wants, I just wanted to make sure that she was informed before things got serious. I left and told her that it was in her best interest not to get involved with him. The next day, I get a text from my parents and my brother and the rest of our extended family asking me, why am I actively trying to ruin my brother's life when he's trying to get back on his feet? They are all angry with me for pushing away a source of happiness for him. I've seen this exact story play out a million times. He gets this burst of energy where he says he's going to change, and he starts getting money and help from family, and then blows it all over again because of some health issue or job market's bad or whatever excuse he comes with. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse trying to explain this to my family. I have no clue as to why everybody seems to want to cover for him. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Oh my God.
I love how the starting line of this is the fact that he's a douchebag and not the fact that she's 18 and he's 26. Like, that's where you started. You didn't start with the fact that she's 18. You started with, oh, well, he's a douchebag and here's all the reasons. It's great. But and then you said known since childhood. So let's think. That
Grooming.
would make him 8 years older than her. So when he was 18, she was 10. Think about that.
Listen, I don't have no problem, Mr. Anonymous, of what you did. If your family don't want to hold your brother accountable for his actions, and you're the only one who is willing to step up and do that, then so fucking be it. So fucking be it. Because one, how are you using a freshly 18-year-old girl to get back on your feet? No. First of all, you get on your feet first before you even start dating people. That's how that usually works. It's how you taking her out. How y'all going to enjoy anything if you ain't on your feet? You sitting there doing all this, that, and the third. Like, no, that's not how that works anyway. Second of all, like Marcus said, she's too freaking young. What you mean? 18? Leave that little girl alone and let her be great. Because no, that is no, you did right. I would have did the same thing. Like, call it what you want. No, they're enablers.
Yes,
your
they
family
are.
enables your brother and allows him to go through life and continuously do bullshit and destroy people's lives and do all of this stuff and wreak havoc in any way, shape, or form that he can, and they allow it.
Yep.
That is not okay. It is not okay. And kudos to you for having the courage to stand up and be like, absolutely not. You're not gonna do that one. You're not gonna do that and those things to this one right here. She's got a bright future ahead of her. You need to get your shit together. Kudos to you. More people need to start doing that. Hold your loved ones accountable for the bullshit that they do. Period. And that is what I would do as well. So good job.
Yep.
And I wouldn't worry about your family feeling no type of way because they are in the wrong. You're right, sir. So good job, Mr. Anonymous. That's what I would do as well. And that is all that I have today and this week. Like I said, thank you guys for continuously sending me these advice questions. They are really getting juicy, and I love reading them and discussing them with you all and giving you guys my advice and opinions on things. Please keep doing that. And if you are just listening, you can do that by sending me your advice question to my Gmail at lyricbravado@gmail.com, or you can go to my social media pages, which is my Facebook, my Instagram, and maybe my TikTok until they take it down. Other than that, I'm out.
All right. So up next, we are trolling the timeline because a couple of things happened this week. I don't know. It's been an interesting week, but
It really has.
All right. We'll be right back.
Donald Trump had 4 years. He talked big about the working class, but who did he really serve? Wall Street, billionaires, big corporations. Whichever dictator wrote him a nice note or gave him a hug. And while Americans were asking for help, he handed out tax cuts to the wealthy, fought to strip families of affordable health care, and cheered on the bans that ripped away women's reproductive freedom. He failed miserably when America faced the biggest pandemic in a century. He was unprepared, incompetent, and woefully unserious. When neo-Nazis marched in the streets of Charlottesville, Virginia, he tried to look at the bright side and make excuses for them. And when America decisively, 7 million votes decisively, fired Donald Trump from his job, he encouraged a mob of his minions who threatened the life of his own vice president and imperiled the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in our nation's history. Now, if you had the good sense to fire someone who was obviously so terrible at their job, so toxic, so destructive, Philadelphia, there's no way in hell you would rehire that person. I know it was 4 years ago. Some of our memories might get hazy sometimes, but ain't no way you'd rehire that person. Especially when the alternative is so obviously, so clearly a better option.
Time to troll.
Alrighty, so let's get into this timeline because a couple of things happen. I'm trying to keep it to 6 a week. I'm gonna try to pull 6 for. What do you think?
That sounds about fair.
Right. So that's like 3 for me, 3 for you, and we bounce back and forth. I don't know, whatever. We'll try to make it work. Anyways, let's kick this off with 50 Cent. Okay, so 50 Cent reveals that he turned down $3 million to perform at a Trump rally. Okay. So in a recent revelation that's making waves, rapper 50 Cent shared that he turned down a whopping $3 million United States dollars to perform at a Trump rally back in 2016. The decision came and he grappled with the implications of aligning himself with the controversial figure at the time. In a candid interview, 50 Cent explained that he didn't want to be associated with the political environment surrounding Trump, valuing his integrity over a hefty paycheck. Now, this bold move has sparked conversations about the intersection of celebrity, politics, and personal beliefs, showcasing how some artists are willing to put their principles above financial gain, even when the price tag is as high as $3 million bucks. So I looked at this and I pulled this story because I got to thinking. Now, when it comes to toxic rap niggas like 50 Cent and all of them, I pretty much let y'all have it over there in Straight World because it is too many toxic mofos already over here on this side. So I let y'all have it. I be trying to stay out of it. But this does bring a very real question to the table. Like, you know, because they're talking about how celebrities, politics, and personal beliefs. I'm glad that people are actually starting to believe what we've already seen and know. Like when you have a platform, it matters. And people talk about, oh, well, cancel culture ain't real. This, that, third, I'm going to do me. And all. And when they lose business, when they lose money, and then they become the next MC Hammer, who nobody remembers, then they sit sitting there looking dumb. And it's because of these things. So yeah, like who you support when you're talking about, fascist, racist, orange turd like Donald Trump. When you talk about, and those are my opinion, but when you talk about somebody like him that is like talking about just overthrowing hundreds, just years and years and lives, just all this progress that we put into building this world, yes, it matters. It matters where you stand, and people are looking for these kinds of things when they decide whether or not to give you their money.
That's right. Shout outs to 50 Cent, man.
Yeah.
I like that. But not shout outs to CNN panelist Ryan James Gerdusky. It was pulled from Newsnight after insulting fellow panelist and Muslim Madai Hassan, implied he was a terrorist by saying, "I hope your beeper doesn't go off." And for those who don't know what that reference came
Oh my
from,
god! Oh my
it was
god!
a
We're
clear
old.
reference to Israel's mass beeper attack that killed 12 people and injured 3,000.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it's not. It's actually really common now. It's really common.
That this is where we are at in society.
Right.
Like, on the news. This is live television, people.
Exactly.
Y'all just showing y'all natural asses on national television.
I fucked it up. I'm sorry. Go back.
Week. Oh, I have another.
Go for it.
Okay.
I
Speaking of
mean,
people showing their natural asses.
Nene.
Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made racist jokes about Puerto Rico, Black people, and Latinos at a Trump rally. For those who want to know what he said, he referred to Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. He spoke on the Latinos, saying that they love making babies. Just know that they do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
And this is common. This is what we're allowing. Like, this is what's on public, like, national television. Not Saturday Night Live. Not no, like, off-brand, backwoods ass TV show. This is national news.
Oh, Black people, we were not exempt from the fuckery and foolishness, because he said
never are.
He went to a Halloween party with one of his Black friends, and apparently he was carving watermelons. And then JD Vance got his motherfucking ass on TV and says, "Oh, I didn't hear the joke. Personally, I don't know about that. But I think we have to stop getting so offended at every little thing in the United States of America."
Ain't that some bullshit?
I'm over it. And once again, we're told to get over on how we feel when somebody offends us. They don't care.
They never did. I mean,
never fucking did.
It's awful. Y'all are awful people, and now you don't even mind the fact that we know that you awful people. You just like, hey, here's how awful I am today.
It's getting so embarrassing. It's to the point where Trump can get on national TV and call every Black American a monkey, and some of y'all will still go out and vote for this man.
Stand for him. Stand for him.
It's sick. It's sick. Y'all, please wake up. Please wake up.
Speaking of people that like to show their ass on TV, Nene Leakes. Have you heard? All right, so Nene Leakes, the iconic reality star from Real Housewives of Atlanta, has recently faced a wave of criticism regarding her new look. Have you seen her?
I have.
So, it features a dramatic transformation that includes a different hairstyle and a more sculpted appearance, okay? Fans and critics alike have taken to social media to express their opinions, with some praising her for her bold change, while others are like, they're kind of questioning whether the transformations are a reflection of personal struggles or like society or pressures from society. You know what I'm saying? So the logistics behind her look kind of involved a combination of cosmetic procedures and styling choices that, you know, just started people talking about beauty standards and entertainment. And Nene's decisions to embrace such a striking change has reignited conversations about self-image and authenticity, leaving many wondering what drives these transformations in the public eye. Damn.
Well, are we ever going to figure that out? Because didn't Little Kim do the same thing? This has been going on. This needs to be a constant conversation.
It does. It does.
Because people are stay butchering their face and their body.
They really do.
For what?
But I saw Nene. Okay, she looked like an entirely different woman. I'm sorry. She's a grown ass woman, older than me. but she looks completely different now. I mean, I get the teeth thing. That's, you gotta have good teeth to eat, but just all these other transformations, and it does bring up very real conversations about image.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the fact that she's single again now, and single-ish, back here on the prowl. You know what I'm saying?
Single-ish.
I ain't putting nobody on that woman. Live your life, meaning work. I mean, but you might want to dial it back. In my opinion, I would dial it back if it were. But you know what? Well, I can't cape for Nene doing as much as she wants to for her body, because again, this is her body to make these choices. So again, I'm not going to police people's bodies. If that's what she chooses to do, then you know what, Nene, work. But get your therapist. Just make sure that you're doing things for the right reason.
Doing it for you. Right. Life. Do it for you. Don't do it to please other people in the media and your peers and stuff who don't do it trying to keep up with trends, because guess what? Trends change, honey.
They most certainly do.
By next year, everybody might be embracing their natural bodies. Everybody might be trying to go makeupless. You never know. You never know. That's why you just gotta be happy with yourself.
Speaking of people that decided to embrace their realness and teeth and all, Plies.
Okay.
So I'm reading the headline. Plies gets real about why voting matters so much. Yeah, this is on the Shade Room. So basically, from the perspective of somebody who isn't a fan of Plies, given his troubling history of abuse, disrespect towards women, the recent headlines about him discussing the importance of voting might come off as ironic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm saying he may be trying to use his platform to emphasize civic engagement at the significance of exercising one's right to vote. And it feels disingenuous coming from somebody who, is postmarked by, so much fucked up behavior. But I will say, again, rap boys try to stay my little nose up out of it. But it is at least good to see him. It comes across to me as disingenuous, but to actually watch how other people are responding to it, I'm like, okay, I'll allow it.
So, as a follower of Plies, I'm not sure if you follow him. I
try not to. Well, I mean,
I follow him on Instagram.
I have seen a lot of his posts lately, and he's been twice a day. So,
this has not been just an overnight thing for Plies. I've been following him since the COVID lockdown, because when everybody didn't have nothing to do, a lot of celebrities made Instagram their platform to go live and to talk to their fans and interact with people that way, because we couldn't go nowhere,
right?
So that's when I started personally following Plies. I did listen to his music too, before then, but he was very funny to me. The things that he was saying were intentionally funny,
right?
But since I've been following him since 2020, this is not a new thing for him. He has always spoke about politics. He has always spoke about how society is going and his views and opinions. And
okay, so
he's always had a very sound and well thought opinion anytime that he posted. So a lot of people think it may come across not genuine, but in reality, he's been talking about a lot of stuff.
And that's good that he's been talking about it.
Overlook it just because he's a rapper, but he's been on it. He's been on it. So,
and I what? And I truly believe that, and I'm glad that he is making, legit changes.
I mean, a lot of these rappers are.
A lot of people can make changes, and it's good to see that happening, but I can't fault for people questioning how seriously he can advocate for social change when his actions contradict the values that he's promoting. But
yeah, that's true.
I mean, at the same time, it is good to see that he can look back and say, hey, you know what? I've grown from this. So if that's the direction that he's headed in, maybe I'll look at his tweets every now and then. So,
Look through them Instagram videos.
Maybe.
Speaking of Instagram stuff.
Oh,
hell. This one's a doozy, y'all. How about Krishan Rock's bestie?
Your favorite.
Speaks out concerning Krishan's incest claims in regards to her sister. She says that Krishan is a known liar who has made false claims concerning sex in the past. And she put on Instagram, I've been her best friend since sophomore year of high school. Jesus. And as many times as Shorty been mad and I was there with her, these allegations would have been came up. She never said a word about her sister touching her ever. Mind y'all, we was just sleeping on Tifa couch the day before she announced she was pregnant. And prior to that, calling Tifa every day. And with her every time. And you were with her every time you came to Maryland. At Krishan, you're sick. So apparently this stems from whatever show they do on Zeus. Because I don't watch it, so I didn't know. I don't watch the fuckery.
Oh, the shade. I love it.
So sorry. But girl, if that's what you're doing, like that's crazy. Like your own sister. She said so. She claims that her sister made her eat her huge at 7 years old.
Wow.
The best friend says every time something didn't go your way, you lied about somebody touching you. You lied about Sean R. Malone, the people who took you in, and the baby godparents making sexual advances at you. You lied about another person trying to have sex with you. Now you're lying about your own blood sister. You're simply jealous of her. Child.
Wow. Imagine.
That is wild. That is wild.
But oh my god,
it goes deeper. It goes deeper than that. So
I'm sure it does. This is therapy field day.
So the sister that she accused, she just posted her own receipt, if you will, about an old personal video of her talking about, oh no, I've never had any traumatic childhood things that affected me. Maybe when mommy was like doing something and it cut out, she was referencing her mom doing something, but not something to her like that. But she basically saying this girl has lost her motherfucking mind, and she's saying that I've never touched my own sister. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand why you people get on these shows and just say all these disgusting things.
Money.
It's crazy. No amount of money in the world should make you lie on your family member like that. None. I don't care. Not even family member. Anybody. You shouldn't be lying, period.
Please. They are paying. Disgusting. They out here paying people to vote for Trump for free. So if they can pay you for your damn freedom,
listen.
Trust me, this is not about. Oh my god.
But then again, look who it's coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
I got one more.
What you got?
Let's see. Get to the chopper. Arnold Schwarzenegger endorses Kamala Harris for presidential election.
Oh, okay.
He says, I knew he was going to do that.
I don't know. I mean, when you say white men's names, I never know where to go with it. So I'll be like, okay, I'll allow it. He says,
I will always be an American before I am a Republican. Okay. He wants to know that he throws his whole support behind her in her bid. Sharing in a post on X, he states that his endorsement goes beyond party lines and is about voting for a candidate he believes in. He says, and I quote, "We need to close the door on this chapter of American history, and I know that former President Trump won't do that. He will divide, he will insult, he will find new ways to be more un-American than he already has been. And we, the people, will get nothing but more anger. That's enough reason for me to share my vote with all of you. I want to move forward as a country, and even though I have plenty of disagreements with their platform, I think the only way to do that is with Harris and Waltz." End quote.
All right, then.
I'm gonna go watch The Terminator right now. Fuck you talking about? Yeah.
I'll be back. Speaking of nostalgic things to watch, did you hear? The Wayans brothers are returning to the Scary Movie franchise. Oh, when I tell you, I cannot wait. Okay, so exciting news for the fans of the comedy genre. The Wayans brothers, Marlon and Sean, are set to return to the Scary Movie franchise, known for their pivotal role in creating the original films that parodied horror classics. The brothers are reportedly involved in a new installment that aims to revive the franchise's signature blend of humor and satire, which white people tried to do and duplicate and could not. Did you see them, like, after Scary Movie 2, right? It was after 2. Then the Wayans didn't have it no more, and then they threw raisins in it, and
it was whack.
It was horrible. Wasn't
it about aliens or some shit like that?
It was about every goddamn thing. I mean, I get that it was supposed to parody different, I guess, scary movies, but nobody has that like the Wayans have it. Like, them niggas genuinely crack me up because they think of the most outlandish shit. And put it on screen. Like, they're very good at that. Like, white girls, iconic. Or white chicks, rather. Iconic. Loved it. All right, what else? Same thing. All right,
oh my gosh. Yes.
Do we want to talk about Obama? I'm sorry, go ahead. What you want to say something about?
I think my favorite Scary Movie one was when they was in the haunted mansion with the guy with the hand. I don't care about none of them other movies, yo. That one is so funny to me because he was digging his nasty ass, chopped up fucking hand. And
that hand is awful. That is just.
I was crying.
This is how I feel like every time I think of Office potlucks, that's the person I think is preparing the food. Like, every time. I won't because you will never ever. No. Let's see. Obama told y'all that them stimmies ain't from where you thought they was. He cussed y'all out about that. What else? We talked about the Wayans. We talked about Plies. Xavier. Did you hear about this?
About Beyonce?
Yes.
Child, I just watched that video. I was like, ooh, you gonna get stung.
You know the Hive does not play. But then, not only did he have spicy shit to say, but then, of course, Twitter runs it back. And they like, this you? Because you had all of these things to say about, let me read this thing. It says, it appears that Xavier DeRousseau is in hot water after his recent Fox News comments about Beyonce, and Twitter users are not holding back. Fans have pulled out receipts showcasing Xavier's previous standing for Queen Bee, revealing a timeline of enthusiastic praise and admiration that now feels so juicy against his latest remarks.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like watching a soap opera unfold, like with Xavier flip-flopping, leaving many to wonder if he's trying to ride the coattails of controversy for Because it's a lot of y'all doing
that. They were celebrity royalty, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
In that tweet.
He said all of these things. He said very nice things that I would say to her. Oh, yeah. Speaking of people we don't want to hear from, Ray J. He says Chris Brown stepped in to prevent an altercation between Ray J and about 8 others at a party.
Oh wow, the bad boys of R&B. Huh?
Listen, the irony is thick in the air. Like a reality TV reunion special. Listen, he said he told about a moment where Chris Brown supposedly swooped in like Batman or something and diffusing a brewing altercation between Ray J and a whole entourage of about 8 others at a party. Sorry, I had to make it sound all movie-like. So here we have Ray J, known for his own share of drama and public skirmishes, suddenly needing a peacekeeper in the form of Chris Brown. This is abusers will stick together, won't they? Well,
but I had heard something.
What you hear?
Allegedly.
Alleged?
The people that was going to fight him and fuck his ass up. Allegedly. Were none other than Diddy's 3 sons.
Oops.
For talking that shit about their father.
So, so I'm gonna fuck you up for talking about the things that my father did, and allegedly did, and is in jail for, like, right now.
That's why I said the R&B bad boys, honey. Literally.
I mean, are they gonna roll up a shade room and do this too? I mean, because everybody's not just Ray J. This
I don't know, but apparently
really
it was a Halloween party going on out LA.
Sure it was.
And it was on site. It was like, oh, you talking shit about my dad in the media. You're gonna have to see us about that. And yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, hey.
That was fun. All right, well, that was, I guess we did the very bare minimum of that, and that's fine because we don't care about the rest. Anyways, Hola Cocasti up next.
All right.
A Nova Scotia fire department is in hot water after 4 guests were seen wearing KKK costumes at a firefighters club Halloween party. So the North Sydney Firefighters Club is being called out for allowing several attendees to appear dressed as members of the KKK. The deputy fire chief apologized on Facebook, expressing disappointment in the actions of those involved and asking for community forgiveness. He said in part, "I can honestly tell you that the situation at the North Sydney Firefighters Club is not who we are or what we stand for." He went on to say, also a sincere promise to do better in the future. Now, this Nova Scotia councillor is giving her take on the fire department's apology.
To deem an entire organization as racist and to pull them through the mud when they do so much for everyone. They made a mistake. They said they were sorry. What more do you want?
Meanwhile, others aren't letting this slide. This community advocate, Quantrell Provo, posted on Facebook saying, simply no words. The fact that this was at an event and no one kicked these individuals out, felt uncomfortable, or spoke up until after the fact speaks volumes. Now, people online are reacting. One user said, "I see ghost costumes." And this user said, "It's a Halloween costume. Who cares?" Meanwhile, this person said, "Absolutely disgusting. An apology isn't enough." Now, some people are suggesting educational initiatives and more accountability for actions that affect marginalized groups.
Work from that apology, but the apology has to be bigger than that. You have to, for one, with the apology, as acknowledging that something's wrong, but then we need to move into education.
So BG Squad, what's your reaction to this? And do you think the fire department's apology is enough?
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
Welcome back, ninjas. Okay, it is time for the Caucasity. And shout outs to Heather out in Bowie, Maryland, who wrote this amazing political drag, right? That I couldn't have said better. So she said, now she was talking about political action figures now. They have these Kamala Harris action figures and dolls, and then they have like a Trump one that's in orange. He's like in a in a jail suit and all that good stuff. I mean, stocking stuffer ideas. All of y'all niggas get that for Christmas. Anyways. So she's talking about this, and she said, this just popped up on my feed, so the ads algorithm must be working correctly again. Facebook knows what I want to see. She said, it's incredibly disheartening that most of the criticisms of Kamala I've seen are based on emotional reactions, misinformation, clickbait, or fear-mongering. Blatant and obvious lies about her and edited videos posted without context, research before posting. It's not that hard. When meanwhile, we have boatloads of facts about how awful Trump is as a human being and what a failure he was as a leader. For those twirling their hair and saying, quote, if he's so bad, how did we survive his first term? End quote. Well, a lot of people literally didn't. Including my uncle. Despite guardrails, he managed to be the worst president in our country's history. He started with the Muslim ban and ended with January 6th. In between, we saw Charlottesville, family separations, rampant corruption, the mishandling of Hurricane Maria, COVID, fascist gunmen emboldened by his rhetoric, and the appointment of extremist judges who overturned abortion rights and weakened public health protections. Have you noticed all the E. coli recalls and deaths lately? Boar's Head, McDonald's. Can you thank Trump judges for that? These judges, by the way, will be around for a long time because that's how these things work, by the way. He stalled the necessary transition to renewable energy, shredded the rule of law, abetted Israel's right wing in oppressing Palestine, helping set the stage for today's conflict, brought us to the brink of war with Iran and North Korea, nearly dismantled healthcare, and shielded Saudi Arabia when they dismembered an American resident. This time around, there won't be any guardrails. Don't forget how he tossed Obama's pandemic playbook, leading to the deaths of over 1 million Americans, especially in blue states where he literally hoped people would die. And for the record, it's not liberals who've been bringing Trump down. It's his own people. Nearly all of his top officials are either locked up or facing upcoming trials, or they are speaking out against him. They're the ones revealing his crimes to avoid jail time themselves. The ones who still defend him, well, they're beyond reason. Oh, and let's not gloss over the fact that thousands of immigrant children are still missing, with rumors some have been trafficked. Infants were torn from their mother's arms. If that doesn't disturb you, you're lost. But Kamala is so fake, and I just can't stand the way she laughs. So you refuse to vote for her over a fascist? Get real. Fake or insincere is something Trump voters say about all women, but especially about black women. It's racist misogyny. Meanwhile, old Trump literally wears high heel lifts, smears orange pancake makeup all over his face, but sure, Harris is the insincere one. Although Trump is sincere in his blinding ignorance and pathological narcissism, that's well documented. Even if you want to stick to your guns about how fake you feel she is, are these the same things not true in droves for Trump? Fake, check. Unnerving, check. Immediately dislikable, check. False friendliness, check. Add in 34 felony convictions, multiple credible allegations of sexual impropriety, including with underage girls, a lot more indictments, etc. I think people need to, I think she said, I think people need to ask themselves, why the double standard of this non-white woman? Why the double standard about the previous woman to stand against him in a presidential race? Both of which are actually way better qualified to be president. But anyways, good job with the ads, Duck. Keep it up. That is from Heather out in Bowie, Maryland. Girl, you killed that. Good job. And with that, we are going to fit into the second half of the show right here on WRTR. Be right back.
Stay 19-year-old Trump supporter was just arrested for allegedly threatening a group of elderly women voters with a machete at a Florida polling station. Yep, you heard that right, with a machete. And it happened right at the Beaches Branch Library in Neptune Beach. According to the police, Caleb James Williams showed up with a group of young men waving Trump flags, and they were reportedly there to intimidate Democrat supporters. Now, this group wasn't just chanting or holding signs. Police say that Williams had a Trump flag attached to a machete, and there's video footage showing the group chanting Trump's name and holding these flags high. One 71-year-old woman reported that Williams approached her with the machete raised above his head. She said that she felt threatened, and a 54-year-old woman next to her took a photo on her phone capturing the moment. Now, Williams is facing some serious charges after this incident, which include aggravated assault against a person over 65 and improper exhibition of a dangerous weapon. Thankfully, no one got hurt, but this isn't just a simple case of boys being boys. This is violent intimidation, and it's not the only case like it. Across the country, we're seeing reports of burned ballot boxes. Verbal threats and action like this are meant to scare voters. Poll station workers are also facing serious threats. Some are even wearing bulletproof vests to work. The question we're left with is, where are we headed as a society if elderly people are being threatened with machetes at polling places? Is this our new normal, or is this just an anomaly?
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Okie dokie, we're back. And it is podcast letter submission time. Ready, Miss Lear?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Says, hey there. My name is Jamal, and I'm writing to you from the vibrant city of New Orleans, Louisiana, where I host a week. This one's a doozy now. Where I host a weekly sex party venue that's become quite the local hotspot. Generally, these gatherings are a blast. Everyone comes together to explore, connect, and let loose in a safe and fun environment. Of course, like any lively affair, we occasionally have our share of mishaps, from minor sexual accidents, gross, to the occasional couple blow-ups. It's all part of the wild, unpredictable nature of such events. But let me dive into a particularly memorable night that had everyone buzzing, quite literally. One evening, after the music was pumping and the energy was electric, this is great. This is great. A rather unfortunate incident occurred. Someone's stash of premium weed went missing. Now, as you can imagine, the mood shifted from sultry to suspicious in an instant. The owner of the weed
Oh no!
The owner of the weed, a regular attendee named Milo, was understandably upset, and the air became thick with tension as accusations began to fly. What followed?
Oh my god!
Listen, this is great. This is why I love when I get to go through the letters. All right. What followed was a chaotic scene of finger pointing and heated debates, with some guests defending Milo while others tried to play peacemaker. It was like a mini soap opera unfolding right in front of us. After a few drinks and some heartfelt conversations, we managed to calm everybody down, but the atmosphere was definitely altered for the rest of the night. So here's my question for you. How do you navigate the aftermath of such a sticky situation? Should I have handled it differently, or was it just one of those things that happens in the heat of the moment? I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to keep the vibe positive while addressing issues like this head on at our gatherings. Thanks for reading. Can't wait to hear your insights. And yes, I know it's a lot. With love, Jamal.
Ew, you nasty, Jamal.
I love Jamal, man. Nasty,
oh my gosh, I heard so many
love
innuendos in this letter. It was driving me completely insane. I can't with y'all.
This was perfect. Oh my god, that gave me so much joy. Not your week going missing at your sex party.
I can't. I can't. He said into the thick of it.
First off, if your weed goes missing in a sex party, where do people hide it? Like,
in their
somebody got a blunt up under their titty or something? Like, what is happening?
Ew.
Oh, I have so many questions.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't know how to
go.
answer that because I don't attend things like that because I'm a good girl.
But
if we change the context of the party, say it was just a regular gathering of people in a lounge or something, and some shit came up, like a sipping paint or some shit. No, you handled that quite well. No fights broke out, nobody got stabbed, and nobody got shot at the end of the night.
Listen, start there.
Call that a win, sir.
Count your wins, because at this point, okay, so if I don't know. Okay, first off, if I even went to something like that, I don't think I'd have the expectation of taking anything out of there. I don't know. I think different though, because while I'm at an orgy, I'm not monitoring like where my weed is going. And then if I look up and I notice that it's gone, I'm gonna assume that somebody smoked it. And I'm gonna keep going on.
So, what was the name of the
like?
event?
Did you stop
Smoking Stroke?
I'm just saying. Oh, that's a good one. Love that. Love that. Jamal smoking stroke.
I can't. Change the subject. Cause
hold on, but then did you stop mid pump and we're like, oh, well,
where the fuck my weed at?
Y'all have got to make better decisions. I do not know what to tell you.
Oh no.
Woo. Y'all give me joy. Thank you for that. Wi-Fi is up next. I ain't got shit else to say to that. Do you? I mean,
no. No comment.
I mean, maybe you should have like had people like bend over and spread them or something. Because I mean, man, I don't know. Are you walking around like checking people booty holes? Like, ooh, she looked like she got like, is that a bud or is that extra butt? Like, what's happening?
Oh no, not a prostate exam on the way out.
Because if you got a blunt hanging out your prostate, it's gonna be some questions. Jamal's stroking.
None of my business.
And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
You say our country. You mean their country, right? I think people forget their history. This land is stolen land. White man, this is not your country. This is not my country. This is their country. This is their country. These jokes are, I don't even call them jokes. These insults don't hit, bro. They didn't hit like that in the 90s. They didn't hit like that in the early 2000s. They're not gonna hit now. They're not gonna hit now. Just, I don't even have much to say, bro. I'm sorry to everybody who identifies as Latino or Latina.
Why do you have roaches?
The Why File.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Wait, see, you done already messed me up. You still falling out. Jamal stroking smoke. Woo! All right. Explaining the unexplained. We're answering why by taking your okay, just email us at WRTRradio@gmail.com, because I don't know who to support nowadays. What the hell? Anyways, this is the Why Files. Remember, the truth is out there. What you got, Miss Leary? Oh God, you are still falling out.
I want to know. My why comes from me. And I want to know why. Why are people still having sex parties in 2024?
Listen, don't knock it. I mean, I haven't been, but I'm not mad at y'all out there for
And why are people stealing at these events?
Stole your weed. Yo, if I can't trust you around my weed, if I can't
how you gonna trust somebody with their body?
Right.
You can't trust them with your drugs.
I can't trust you not to leave with everything that you came with. But then I'm gonna bust it open? Nah, Slim. I don't know what else to tell you, because that is peculiar though when you think about it.
Your priorities be so fucked up. It don't make no sense to me. Like, that's why I be laughing, because what? What are we talking about here, sir? I can't.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because the truth is out there, and so is your weed.
It's out there. Somebody got it. Somebody had it. Somebody had a wonderful time. Woo. All right. This why comes from Dennis from Philly. He wants to know why has my Twitter feed become MAGA.com? MAGA.com. He said, why has my Twitter feed become MAGA.com?
Child. Who are you following?
Listen, I can't. I know what he's talking about, because every time that I log on Twitter, it is nothing but ElonMusk.com. Like, it's literally ElonMusk.com.
So they must have changed it, because
they have changed everything about that. And now you know.
I don't be on that shit like that.
Well, now you know they have this Trump media thing now also, and that's a whole. You know, people are betting on the election right now.
Really?
In order to get people, yes. Okay, so right now, Trump media is putting out all of this bullshit about how Trump is leading in the polls and how, it's looking good for Trump and yada, yada, yada. And meanwhile, there's like this backwoods ass white, I don't know, hooded kind of gamble thing going on where people are voting for the presidential race.
Like, so betting real money.
Yeah, real money. So
now,
so now they're like trying to spin the narrative like, oh, okay, well, if you lose, or, whatever happens, if he loses, it's not only just him losing the election. Now people feel personally connected to it. Now it's to, gas up his maggots even more in the event that this does not go his way, which we are all hoping for. And yeah,
it's crazy.
It is. It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't, and it's a lot going on back and forth. This is literally the last week of peace we gonna see for a minute. Just so you know. I mean, because either way, we gonna hear it's gonna be the maggots responding, or it's gonna be Trump as overlord for all this bullshit.
It's not a win-win situation at all.
It's not. Like, literally, this is our last week of peace. Will we be recording next week? Hell, I don't know. We all might. I don't know. Whatever the fuck they white people got going on. All right, so that wraps it up for this week's Wi-Files. You know the links and news making nachos. We'll be right back.
And on Tuesday, 1 week from today, the people of this nation must decide whether they want America to remain true to the great words of the Founding Fathers. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We must decide next Tuesday whether America will take the high road of justice and peace and compassion for the poor and underprivileged, or whether this nation will tread the low road of man's inhumanity to man, of injustice, of short-sightedness. Each of us has a moral responsibility, if we are of voting age and if we are registered, to participate in that decision. I come here to urge every person under the sound of my voice to go to the polls on the 3rd of November and vote your convictions. Now, I know you're intelligent people, and I don't need to tell you who you should vote for. I don't have any fear about that. you know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
These are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times. We're not even reading the Washington Post anymore or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. You ready, Miss Lyric?
I sure am.
By all means, ladies first.
Say what, Temple Hills Merlin?
Say what?
Merlin, I love it.
Yep. So, a man was shot while fighting off attempted carjackers in Prince George's County.
Wow.
Yesterday.
Wow.
Lockdowns at 2 schools in Prince George's County have been lifted 2.5 hours after 3 people thought to be teenage boys shot a man nearby during an attempted carjacking. Around 9:38 a.m. Tuesday, Prince George's County responded to an AutoZone parts store where they initially believed that the shooting was an attempted robbery at the AutoZone, but police said that they found out that it was actually an attempted carjacking in the parking lot. While the man fought off the 3 teenagers, he was shot 1 time in the chest, police say. The man was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment in critical but stable condition. 2 of the suspects have been caught by police and are in custody. 1 is still at large, but the police say they have a lead on finding him. The 2 schools were on lockdown till around 12:30 p.m. while the police investigated the shooting in the area. A witness told WUSA 9 that the 3 suspects were wearing what looked like school uniforms, all khaki pants, hoodies, and book bags. They were covering up their faces, but they all seemed pretty young, the witness said. It's surprising to see young guys doing this kind of thing. Instead of being in school learning, they're out here doing this kind of stuff. It's not right. Police have not said whether those involved are students at either school. All public schools in Prince George's County require uniforms. Hold on. This investigation is ongoing and will be continued to be updated as more information becomes available.
Wow. Don't like the fact that it's so close to so many people I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's home area for me.
Ooh, yeah, it's crazy. These kids, man.
Wow. All right, so do you want me to do the one out of Detroit or the one out of Brazil? Pick one.
Detroit.
Sure? Okay.
I'm guessing. Go ahead.
Say what, Detroit, Michigan.
Say what?
So a man goes to parents' Oakland County home, uses his brother's old phone to download nude photos. Yep. So while y'all were running around policing women about children that ain't even here, again, we sit with proof, tangible proof, in the very real reality that y'all don't really give a fuck about kids. You just want somebody to control. So in a troubling case out of Oakland County, a 39-year-old man was arrested for downloading child pornography while using his parents' home as a temporary hideout. While they were away, he accessed his brother's old phone and work laptop to download several nude images of minors, specifically 5 disturbing files that depicted children aged between 6 and 10, as well as 1 teenage boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Authorities traced the downloads back to the family residence after using investigative software to track the IP address because it's 2024, and how are you that stupid? But anyways, the man, who has a prior conviction for possessing child pornography, admitted to the crime during an interview with law enforcement, claiming that he was aware of the software's sharing capabilities, but believed he had taken precautions to block them. Following the investigation, he now faces serious charges, including receipt and distribution of child pornography. Distribution. Meaning that he sent
that shit to other motherfuckers. Wow, that's wild.
Alongside
You're wild.
possession charges, as police seize the devices involved, this case sheds light on the ongoing concerns surrounding online safety and the grave implications of such criminal behavior. So again, a criminal white man walks around and he's just, I mean, he already has priors and is just able to do whatever, whenever.
Damn, I should have said Brazil.
Well, I mean, this is actually quick. So, I mean, if we want to, say what, Brazilian coast?
Say what?
A tragedy struck off the Brazilian coast last month when two social media influencers, 37 and a 27-year-old, drowned after reportedly refusing to wear life jackets on a speedboat. Eyewitnesses suggest that the duo is more concerned about preserving their tan lines and perfect photo opportunities than their safety. Local reports indicate they were returning from a yacht party when the overcrowded boat capsized along the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this river, sending passengers into the water. Despite the captain's desperate attempts to rescue everyone, the two influencers could not be saved. So, yeah. Wait, are you falling out? Wait, watch your mic on mute. Why are you falling out? Oh my god.
Oh my
god. Wait, what is funny? Wait. He died with a selfie stick.
Somebody could influence these two life jacket. What the fuck?
Nah, girl, I'm gonna mess up my tan line.
Girl, now you dead. Fuck your tan line. What the hell? Y'all keep thinking that y'all don't got one life to live. All y'all want, but you only giving one. And you doing
let me do. I fucked up. Let me start over. I just fucked up. Like what?
Oh my gosh! I don't mean to laugh because condolences to these young ladies' families, but I can't support stupidity either. I'm so sorry about it. Like, if you intentionally do fuck shit for your own demise, then what do I say to that? What do I say to that? So you're the only two on the whole boat.
The entire thing.
I said, I'm not wearing my tan line.
I'm gonna mess up my tan line. You gonna mess up my pictures. You gonna mess up my pictures.
No, it's
I can't show my titties with this life jacket on.
I can't. I gotta promote this company's bikini. I'm not gonna get paid if I got a life jacket. Y'all are stupid.
I can't make no money with no. I can't show cleavage. That ain't no money.
Y'all gotta start taking life more seriously, for real. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because, like I said, you only get one. You don't get no do-overs. Most people don't anyway.
If you want these and more nauseating news stories, follow us on the socials, WRTR Real Talk Radio. I'm at MarcusSmoot. That's Marcus Smoot.
And you can find me on X, aka Twitter, for a limited time. Because I don't really be on there like that. Because fuck that.
I'm kind of waiting for somebody. I'm kind of waiting for this election to go not in the way they want it to, and for all their heads to explode. So then, like, somebody can take over Twitter again, and we can get it back.
Hopefully, and even so, I still ain't gonna be on there, but you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And for the time being, like I said, we don't know what they're going to do with TikTok, but you can find me on there at Lyric Bravado.
Well, up next on Real Talk, thoughts to accompany you to the voting polls. We'll be right back.
If you watch our present so-called president, he spends most of his time either in his child or his parent ego state. He never gets into his adult ego state unless he's reading off the teleprompter. And he is such a poor reader that oftentimes he makes mistakes and then he is instantly in his child ego state right in front of your very eyes. It's absolutely fascinating to watch it happen.
Speaking of our president, a lot of people say that racism has risen under him.
Anybody who doesn't say that hasn't been paying attention. It absolutely has. The kinds of things that are being said in this country today are things that he has has said for the last 2 years. He has said them publicly, and he got elected because he said them publicly. We have a group of people in the United States of America who were in response to 8 years of a black man in the White House and the possibility that they might have from 4 to 8 years of a woman in the White House, will elect anything that walks and can chew gum at the same time. Last election, as far as I'm concerned, was a direct response to having a black man in the White House for 8 years. And it's time to change the White House to the President's house. This is ridiculous. To call the place where the President of the United States lives the White House, it sends the wrong message. I remember when Richard Nixon said to a group of reporters, "I'm trying to save the White House for you white people." That says it all. And at that moment I thought, well, wait a minute. Now this is something that has to be changed, and it has to be changed. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. It's time to change the name of the White House to the President's house or the President's residence, which has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Let's just say that President Trump is trying to bring the country together like he said he would do. Wait a second. He's trying to bring the country together. How would he go about doing that?
Resign. If he really wants to bring the country together, all he has to do is resign and take his, with him, the second in command, the vice president. That would bring the country together. But right now, the only way he can bring the country together is put somebody else in the president's office. He does not know how to be a president. He does not know what legislation is about. He does not know how to do this job. He didn't intend to get this job. And had it not been for the Electoral College, he wouldn't have this job. Mrs. Clinton won the popular vote. The only reason we have this person as the president of the United States right now is because the members of the Electoral College didn't do what that Electoral College was designed to do. Thomas Jefferson designed that to make sure that no one who was unfit for that office would ever be elected president of the United States. The Electoral College last year absolutely defeated that.
You criticized President Trump.
Did I?
One thing that a lot of people have criticized former President Obama on was not speaking out on race enough. Do you think he failed in that?
What if he had spoken out enough on race? Imagine what would have happened to him. The man is still alive. Do you remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Do you remember Malcolm X? Do you remember all those people have been killed not because of the color of their skin, but because of the fear of white people that someone who isn't white is going to look better, sound better, act better, do better than they do? Mr. Obama was the president of all of us. He wasn't just the president of black people. He was the president of all of us. The man who's there now is and claims to be the president of the people who look like him. When he says, make America great again, what he's really saying is, make America hate again. And until people in this country and people in this world get it into their heads that the first modern human beings that evolved on this earth were black women, they evolved in sub-Saharan Africa about 280,000 years ago, and every human being on the face of the earth today has the memory of those black women's genetic structure in their genes. Now, we don't want to admit that, but that's the way it is. As people moved farther and farther from the equator, their bodies produced less and less melanin, so their hair, their skin, and their eyes got lighter. As they moved into the east, they ate a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables, so their skin took on a different tone. You don't really want to get me started on this because
I do want to get you started.
I'm really angry about how we are miseducating the American mind.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
Alrighty, guys. So, we've been as funny as we can be for the rest of this show, but we need to, really dive in on a serious thing. And it's this upcoming election. Okay? So this week on Real Talk, we're talking thoughts to accompany you to the voting polls. I asked this question online. I pulled six of your answers. Thank you so much for the overwhelming support, you guys, and, just your insights and everything. But before I even get into that, I think you need to understand the magnitude of this particular election. You've got some really, this isn't what it was 4 years ago or even 8 years ago. Because right now you have a lot of people that are fueled by a lot of hatred. And that hatred has emboldened them to do even more heinous things. And they're banking. They're betting on the fact that a lot of us aren't educated. A lot of us don't follow politics. A lot of us aren't out here, keeping track. And it's cool. Like Lyric said in the beginning of the show, and like we talked about, you do have to tear yourself away from it sometimes. But you also need to be actively engaged, and you need to also be paying attention to what's going on out here in the news. I've seen so much talk from brothers, from sisters, just people talking about how they don't feel as though, you know, their vote matters, or I'm not voting, I'm gonna sit this one out, I'm not gonna do da 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 da. All these just different kind of just these preset ideas of yesteryears of how it all works. Black people, if ever there was a time to step up and answer the call, this would be that time. And I'm not talking about just a voting squabble to where we all decide to rise to the occasion and beat people with plastic chairs. I'm talking about like the really real rise up and go out here and talk to younger people. I'm not saying that Kamala is the end all be all. I never have. What I am saying is that Kamala is the more worthy candidate. She is the candidate that is interested in keeping our democracy going to where you can say that you don't like something, to where you can say, or you can have a voice in how your destiny is going to play out. A lot of you are out here and you have these preconceived ideas of, well, I mean, it's a woman and she on this, that, and the third. And do you realize that the opposition to that wants to completely destroy the Constitution? Do you understand what that would mean for Black people? Think about it. Look it up. Look at what the Constitution means to Black people. And just toy with the idea that you have somebody that's going to go in there and rip it up. And this isn't somebody that has your best interest at heart. Like, hey, let's rip this up and start from ground zero and build something new. This is somebody that is literally interested in keeping their pockets fat and keeping the pockets of their rich friends fat. And they don't give a black ass, white ass, orange ass fuck about you as an individual. They do not. They simply do not. I don't care how you feel about me as a gay man, or any of my trans sisters, or any kind of abortion or other kind of rights. You're talking about somebody that literally wants to take every gain that we have made, all of our ancestors, in one election, because you chose to sit back on your ass because you have a stick up it for whatever reason that you are upset with women. And he is going to take that and literally flush it down the toilet. And a lot of you raggeds are sitting back like, I mean, I'm just saying, I ain't voting for no woman. You got Tim Scott's ignorant ass standing up there talking about, I'm not going to vote for somebody that's going to have a school that's going to tell my boys that they can be girls. First off, that's not how it works. That's not how any of that works. But you will know that if you looked it up. But just all of this hatred and everything that is fueling this literal overthrowing of how we live life. Do you realize that this is the last week we're going to have a peace for a while? Mark my words. I really hope that it doesn't happen that way. But the dread in me, my anxiety is shit right now because I'm looking around. I'm seeing how the world is operating. I feel like we're on our last leg. I feel like, I don't know, it's like the connection that I once had to the community. It's not that I don't feel it anymore. It's just that I'm so disappointed by so much of the rhetoric that I've seen. and that I've read, and it's disheartening. One is a black man, two is a gay man. White, black, or otherwise, people, we need you to make the right decisions. I'm sorry, Lyric, I kind of took over.
Oh no, that's fine. You summed it up. Make good choices, people, in all aspects of your life, but especially when it comes to this election, because you are absolutely 100% right. It doesn't just affect just one group of people. It affects all of us, our rights and our values, and what we've come together as a country and been able to do over these past few decades is in jeopardy. And not a lot of people are researching that. Just like Heather said, they're more so voting out of what they're seeing on social media instead of researching. Research these policies. Research Project 2025 that he says that he's not a part of, but all of his people is on, signatures are on. Read this type of stuff that he's trying to do away with, you guys. You have to. It's very important, and not just for you right now, but for our future, your children, your families, your friends, your loved ones. Like, take this serious. It's not the time to be just, saying, oh, I'm voting for Trump because I want to vote for Trump just because you think he's a funny dude. And no, take this serious.
What is funny about it?
A lot of people have said that in the comments. Because he's obnoxious and he says it the wildest things, like he did in the debate about eating cats and dogs. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was. But take that and use that as fuel. Do you really want somebody who is not even professional enough to go into a debate saying the things that he's saying? He didn't take that, even the debate, serious. He dodged every single serious question they had. He never once said what he planned on doing besides the IVF thing. And Kamala had a response for everything. She was very intellectual. She let you know what she planned on doing and what she planned on fixing because of him. Right. And another thing that you guys got to know is the president doesn't make all of these decisions by themselves. A lot of you guys are ignorant to how the government really works. You really don't know. You failed at civics class. It's not, honestly, you are so quick to blame the president for every little thing, but those bills and laws that need to be passed, they got to go through certain things. It's not just them it's not just the president that makes these decisions. And some of it is because some of you guys don't vote. You cannot complain about certain things that you're not seeing progressively being done in America if you're not using your voice. I see a lot of that too. A lot of people that never voted, don't plan on voting, or whatever, always complaining. If you are so passionate about your opinion, put your money where your mouth is. Go out there and vote. Do your own research for yourself, and then you can come and have an opinion. And if you still feel that strongly to vote for him, God bless you.
I wish that we lived I mean, to your point, I wish that we lived.
But at least put that work in.
Right. And I wish that we lived in a world to where we could just sit back and be like, well, I don't care, or to kind of not have to know. But that's just not the world that we live in. You're an adult. If you are hearing my voice, you shouldn't be an adult. Some of y'all be underage. But if you are old enough to vote and can hear my voice, vote. These things are important.
Let's see what the people got to say.
All right, I sent you 3 of the responses, and I'll read 3. So, let's see. Maya from Atlanta, she says, this election isn't just about candidates, it's about our future. Every vote is a chance to stand up for the issues that matter to us, like education and healthcare. Let's make our voices heard because our children's tomorrow depends on it. What you got?
Let's see. Tyler from Austin, Texas says, y'all, Hey, y'all. This isn't just another election. It's a turning point. From climate action to workers' rights, what we decide today will echo for generations. So grab your friends, hit the polls, and let's make some noise for our future, y'all.
Word.
I know that's right.
Carlos from LA, Los Angeles, says voting is our superpower. If you think your vote doesn't matter, just look at the last few years. Every election brings us closer to policies that can uplift our communities or tear them down. Don't sleep on this opportunity, folks.
Aisha from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay, Philly. Voting is our chance to speak up for those who can't. This election is crucial for issues like voting rights and community funding. Every single vote counts, and together we can create a wave of change that no one can ignore. I know that's right.
And finally, Jasmine from Detroit says, we've come too far to let our voices go silent now. This election holds the keys to social justice and equality. We need to show up at the polls and demand the changes we've been fighting for. Our ancestors paved the way. Let's honor them by voting.
Facts. Sam from Seattle, Washington says, this election is about more than just policies. It's about our values. We need leaders who reflect our commitment to inclusivity and progress. So let's show up, make informed choices, and remind everyone that our democracy thrives when we participate. Well said. Well said, everyone.
Yep. So we head into the polls. Let's carry these messages with us. Our votes are not just pieces of paper, people. They're our power to create change, reflect our values, and shape the future that we want to see. Let's make our voices heard and embrace this opportunity to stand up for what truly matters. Remember, democracy thrives when we all participate.
And so I already participated.
Go out there and participate, as did I. Everybody in my family voted too. Show us your, tag us in some of your voting. I voted pictures because y'all will send. Listen, y'all will send all.
I will send everything else.
Yep, y'all will send these parties to me. Y'all send these ratchet videos, but I have not been seeing a whole lot of I voted stickers, and hopefully that will change with over the next week. But we can't.
I'm gonna post mine.
Get this one wrong.
I'm gonna post mine on the WRTR Facebook page.
Work. All right. I shall do the same. Once again, that's at WRTR Real Talk Radio, and I guess that wraps it up for this week's show.
Yes, indeed.
Make sure you follow us on the socials. Again, my name is Marcus Smoot at MarCusSMOT.
And my name is Miss Lick Bravado, and I will see you guys next week.
Hopefully. No promises. All right, so hopefully when we come back, we will be coming back to a new president because, next week is the 6th when we record. So, All right, fingers crossed. Let's get this one right, Blacks. We'll holla.
Bye.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show features work from TikTok creators The Conscious Lee, Olive Bless Grateful, Black Belt Babe, Rashay Rose 2287, Petty Netty _33, using our platform to amplify your voices.